I'm going to take this video in multiple clips. This is a Lawn Boy 5-horse. I'm fixing up for a friend who's going to purchase it from me. Swapped out a carburetor yesterday that I knew came off a running machine. I don't think it's that old. Put an air filter on it, a fuel line. The fuel shut off. I'll show you that here. Still need to give it the once over deep clean, but before I do any of that, obviously I need to turn it around to flip it over so the carburetor's up. But I'm going to pull off the blade, clean the deck, and then put a better blade option I have on it. I'm amazed by how dirty people let their decks become, but got this free, not running, and it's come a long way since then. So it's going to be a better, brighter machine in the days to follow. All right, got her all tipped over. Blades kind of, or no, the enclosures here kind of in deplorable conditions as far as housekeeping. Blade, surprisingly, could use a sharpen, but it looks straight. It does cut the grass. I pushed it around a little yesterday. Again, I have a mulching blade kit to come on it, to put on it, similar to this mulching blade here, but then it has almost like a star apparatus that goes with it. So dual cutting action. So far, these are the tools for the trade I brought. Probably could have found something a little better, but anything with a dull edge should help me scratch the dry stuff off. I'm going to start, it's kind of ironic I'm calling it dry when it's raining cats and dogs last couple days, but regardless, pretty dry under here. So she's been kept indoors for past few months. I'll update you a little later on. All right, we got to show that we did indeed unplug the spark plug. Just a piece of wood in this for when I'm ready. I'm gonna hit with just a light coat of oil here. I don't know if it's gonna help or not, and we'll be using an impact on it. So I don't know if that's necessary, but anything will probably help. I have my socket ready, and now I gotta find it. Right. Yeah. I'll attempt to show you this, even though my camera's gonna be a little shaky. Do my absolute best for you here. Really strong arm for this. All right. I don't know, everybody probably does this different. I kind of go outer side on in. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. If I was, I'd put it on a tripod and put it on a time lapse, but you get the idea. I'm going to go after the big dry stuff first, and then I'll turn around and hit it with some super clean and probably a brush on the end of a drill would probably be a good idea. We'll see if I need to even get that aggressive with it. All right, well, this is a pain. There's this black mulch boot. I don't know what you necessarily call it. Mulch plug. Looks like it's and forgive me, I have not wrestled with a lot of lawn boys, but it looks like it's secured with the height adjusters for the wheels, which I plan to switch out the wheels on this anyways. Once again, I have slightly better options, but it goes all the way around, probably half the deck, yeah, between the left front wheel and kind of the center right wheel. I know it's an old mower, but I don't want the deck to rust out. You already have a little bit of surface rust here, nothing too significant, but I think to properly clean it, I'm going to have to pop that out. Looks like the wheels are 1/2 inch. adjustment. I think it's a 5/16 there, yeah. Set it right down on my grass mess. You believe that, folks? Oh. Alright, I gotta start with a manual ratchet. Who wants to work for a living, right? There she goes. I found a little washer last time I did this. Yep. So that, don't lose that. I almost did. Alright. Well, I'm done getting these whole assemblies off. I'm going to cobble them back together, wheels on them and everything, even though I'm changing the wheels. I just don't want any small bits to become an orphan. Like what almost just happened 5-10 minutes ago. Okay, surprise, surprise. I thought I looked this over close enough. Here's a rivet right there that holds this whole thing on. But I can almost pull it completely off the machine. Yeah, I could tear that rivet out, put a little nut and bolt in there, or even re-rivet it, but I don't want to. So I think I can work around this, especially if I use enough water pressure and that kind of thing. And see, and there's a bunch of muck and nooks and crannies I wouldn't have been able to access. I pried the little wheel support plate out of there. But look what's, I mean, just look what's being held hostage in there. Again, old machine. I want to give it, I don't know, 5-10 years more life. To my friend out in Eric in Cumberland, Wisconsin. More to come. So these wheel brackets, one hole threaded, one hole is not, and there's a little metal tab that goes in there. So again, I can't do it one-handed, but I gotta put that bolt back in there, and then I gotta put the wheel bolt and the washer back in there just to keep track of them until I put it back together. And then we'll do a little wheel juggling and make sure we're everything's lubricated up and put together properly. And the difference between the wheels I took off and the wheels I'm putting on, a little less tread wear, and the rims are actually white, or closer to white than these were. All right, so I dug out of the machine. Yeah, I know I need to replace the ramp from my shed. Get so busy working on machines, poor shed. She needs some attention. So now I'm gonna hit this with a super clean, including the mulch cover I took off of it. I can't remember if I filmed that portion or not. Probably shouldn't do this where there's grass. So let me come up with an alternative plan here. All right, I found some plastic to wrap over the carburetor apparatus. I don't want to do that work twice, and I don't want to have to tear it apart and clean it up. So Lawn Boy, made by, I think, the Toro Corporation in Bloomington, model number 10360. I don't know if I see a year on there. I'm sure some of you savvier folks can figure that out, but you know, I'm putting a lot of time and attention into this, and mainly it's because I just don't make them like this anymore. I was pushing it around the lawn, and it was almost, when it engaged this out propel, it was almost hauling me forward faster than I walk at a fast walk, and I'm a fast walker. And it was cutting the grass and wasn't missing a beat, so she's worth it. Well, after some super clean, a little bit of brushing with the drill, but I actually I can see there's a little rust on the deck. I don't want to scratch it to the point where rust begins to make rust holes. I may shoot it with some black rust inhibiting paint, but kind of is what it is at this point. The mulch plug, of course, is plastic, came incredibly clean, as well as this mulch cover. Now that I can see it, I discovered that the drive belt has seen better days. But you know, since we can probably even get at that bracket now and pull these bolts out, we might as well give it a changeover. Again, you know, 5 years, 10 years maybe. Has somebody very interested who's very fond of these machines. So I'm gonna put my best foot forward and provide a solid product. All right, I should have showed you how these wheel adjusters go together. There's a little brass square piece of metal. It's very easy to get backwards. It goes up inside the deck, inside that mulch plug. And then, I don't know how close I can get you. Right there's that tab. It folds in, goes into that brass piece, and the bottom hole is obviously your bolt. That holds the whole apparatus in, as you can see there. And then, trying to remember the order of things here. So you got the adjustment arm that goes on top of near the bolt head, and you got the bracket that holds the tire. There's a black washer that goes between this arm that holds the wheel, and then the height adjustment selector. So it's kind of a dance of getting that tab aligned just right, getting the bolts aligned just right, not dropping that square piece of brass out of the mower deck, and then quickly putting it together, and then later on you throw the wheel on. I have not yet updated the wheels because it is muddy as can be today. Why put clean wheels on today of all days? Sometime I'm sitting down, we'll do it in an indoor environment where I can take apart one, put it back together, and demonstrate for you. If you pay attention to how it comes apart, and you remember that washer that goes between the arm and the wheel, not too bad. It goes together just the way you pulled it apart originally.